I had a woman tell me I was getting ready to do something to myself that I could not reverse.
Mm.
And I heard you talk about your stroke in a way that was hilarious, but also a way that it met me where I was at. And to hear somebody to say, in my mind, I was getting ready to do something that I could not reverse.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
I'm always telling folks that's my thing. Time is the only commodity that you don't know the balance. And it almost losing your life kind of saves your life. Welcome to the Blue Zone Lifestyle Podcast, where we're redefining how to live longer, love deeper, thrive after age 40, 50, and beyond. I'm your host, Dr. Yvonne Beckford, here to guide you through the proven principles of the world's longest living communities through the Blue Zones. Each week, I'm going to explore powerful habits for wellness, beauty, purpose, and relationships, all designed to age gracefully, live fully, and find joy in every moment. From expert interviews to practical tips, this is your go to space for embracing longevity and living life on your terms. If you're ready to feel vibrant, purposeful, and unstoppable after 40, you're in the right place. Let's get started. I am so honored and pleased and privileged to welcome Dr. Shanta Ouellette DeVille. She is nationally recognized heart and health equity advocate. She is a global speaker and founder and content creator. Guys, see her, influencers who has taken social media by storm. She has over 2 million followers. I got that in my head. Anyway, 1 billion impressions, 1 billion with a B. Her culturally uplifting, educational, and inspirational content resonates with audience. She's a mother, a grandmother. She's a bon vivant. She has great hysterical content with her son Addison. She's been named Dallas's best TikTok and is affectionately known as TikTok's funniest mom. The connection, she's a 2-time stroke and heart attack survivor, and she's dedicated to raising awareness of heart health, particularly to women of color. Welcome, doctor. It's so nice to have you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The pleasure is mine. The pleasure is mine.
Let's talk turkey. Your life took a dramatic turn. I get it.
Uh-huh.
After surviving a heart attack and stroke. How is embracing the Blue Zone concept and mindset, focusing on longevity and wellness, influence your recovery and your outlook on life?
Yeah. So I went to, and thank you for that question. I went from moving fast, dying young,
Yeah.
to moving slow and living long. I find that uh, life is not about chasing trends at all. It's not about chasing
Mhm.
trends. It's really about having a quality of life and finding the joy in the smallest things,
Yeah.
the basic things. And that just changed me. I really realized that I wanted to have a legacy. I wanted to live. At first I was just, you know, almost running myself into the ground
Mhm.
trying to do good work, and realizes that I can't do any of this good work if I'm not taking care of myself.
Mhm.
I had to really change my mindset and focus on me and put me first, because I realized a lot of times as women we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
we come up with these different terms like superwoman and boss to help us with our mindset. And I'm like, if you superwoman, the bare minimum is to fly. And if you can't do that, you need to remove that title. And so I was just really focused on a life of longevity, uh, and just really making laughter and peace my full-time job.
Yeah. It's sometimes it's the journey, not the destination, because we're gonna get wherever we're going,
Yep,
but
yep.
it's the journey. Now, laughter is said to be one of the best medicines. So you are the doctor, okay?
Yeah.
How has making people laugh strengthened your mental health and deepened your personal relationships?
Yeah, it's powerful. You know, I've
Mhm.
always leaned on laughter. It is a gift. It is a God-given gift and an art form that I can't even describe. And I relied on it so long, not realizing it was the very thing that was going to take me into upward trajectory. And so at first it was more of a healing process for me because I was going through my own mental health issues because when you have a stroke and you have a heart attack, these are not things you plan for. There's no
Right,
booklet. You just don't like, oh, you're gonna have a stroke tomorrow, so be prepared. It doesn't happen like that. And
right,
so I had to go through a grieving process of who I used to be, a grieving
right.
process of the job that I felt like was going to be the career to retire me. And so when I, started getting on social media and started, telling my story,
Mhm,
and using life to bring relatability in households and receiving feedback
mhm.
from people saying, "You're changing my life." I
Yeah,
wake up in the morning just to listen to you. I can't go a day, and I was like, "Wow,
yeah,
laughter is powerful. It is powerful.
very powerful.
When you go to the medical side of it, it increases, it releases endorphins, it releases it lowers your blood pressure. It just does all these things that we don't realize. And so, they say Apple will keep a doctor away, but I would argue with a doctor, I think it's laughter.
Yeah, I've spent 40 plus years working on smiles from the outside in. Now I'm working on it from the inside out. When you get responses from folks, this one story just jump out as that they were affected positively. Does anybody any particular story?
I had a woman tell me that I was getting ready. I got online. Just
Mhm.
before I got online, I was getting ready to do something to myself that I could not reverse.
Mm,
And I heard you talk about your stroke in a way that was hilarious, but also a way that it met me where I was at.
mhm.
And thank you. And to hear somebody to say, in my mind, I was getting ready to do something that I could not reverse.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Depression is real, and PTSD is real.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm going off script. I don't know about you, but I know I had a little PTSD, you
Yeah.
know, facing the reality, I'm always telling folks that's my thing. Time is the only commodity that you don't know the balance. And it almost losing your life kind of saves your life.
Oh,
Does
yeah.
that
It
resonate?
it
Because
it
we
pull
get it. You know what I'm saying?
it pulls you up by your lapels. When you have to face your own mortality, it is something different. It's something that you can't even explain. You
You
have to
can't
go through
explain
it.
to anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to go through it yourself.
Mhm.
You can hear stories, but it's not
Yeah.
gonna resonate
Right.
until you have actually had the
Right.
experience.
And you can tell I get it. Right. Yeah. You're
Yeah,
kind of like, whoa, that
yeah,
might be the last ceiling tile I'll look at.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
it doesn't only affect you, it affects everybody around you.
Exactly.
And so for me, every time I get a headache, every time I get a headache, because that was the first symptom of my stroke, it was a major
Mhm.
headache. So every time I get a headache, anytime I'm feeling dizzy, you know, you reactivate something mentally. That PTSD comes and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
what is this? What
Yeah.
is this? Don't, you really talk yourself down from a panic because
Right.
I realize some things are out of my control,
Yeah.
and there are some things that are in my control. And so I work on what I can control and
Right. You
not
got
what
to
I
ride
can't.
that wave because the
Yeah,
wave is
ride
going to
that wave.
come. Ride
Yeah,
that wave.
yeah.
Uh, on that note, with the how do you filter? Because I filter. That's kind of helped my recovery. If it didn't serve me, it was hurting me. There's nobody on neutral. I'm either gonna go in reverse or I'm gonna go forward if I'm when I in relationships. That's me personally.
Yeah.
How about you? How is your filter for stress?
Yeah, if it doesn't add value, if it
Mhm.
doesn't add value to me, then it has no space in my
Yeah.
life. I know that I was at one time a people pleaser,
Mhm.
so it was hard for me to say no because I'm a natural giver. You know,
Right.
I want to give.
Mhm.
And I had to learn how that was causing so much off balance in my life,
Mhm.
giving to others, especially when there was no level of reciprocity in those relationships. And so
How
once
you
I
feel about
realized
that?
that, I was like, girl, if it's not serving you, it's against you.
Doesn't bother anybody but you. Ever notice that?
Right, right,
Nobody
right.
else. Everybody else is cool. Just taking, taking, taking.
Absolutely.
That's like, oh,
Absolutely.
cool. And you're like worried about it. And I'm like, huh?
Everybody smoking cigarettes,
Right. I'm like, oh, cool. And you over
taking
there stressing out and
taking
talking to
shots.
ICU nurses. Child,
Yeah.
please.
You sitting
Hey,
here, you writing dissertations and text messages and things, and these folks is going on with their life. They
what's
living
going on in your life? And you worrying about it.
a girl
Now,
said they not stunting you.
not even close. And it's a learning process. You're kind of like,
Learning
oh,
process,
why is
lifelong.
it bothering me? It ain't bothering you.
Yeah.
It'll bother the dog, and it don't bother them.
It
Dog is upset.
got me waking up in the middle of the night and you sleeping sound.
We get it. All right, now Blue Zone emphasizes natural, holistic approaches to wellness. You have a woman's wellness brand, GB Natural, and breast cancer advocacy that reflects this philosophy. Nutrition plays a huge role in Blue Zone longevity. Have you discovered any go-to foods or drinks that help you maintain your energy or
Oh, yeah.
health? Because you're pretty busy to say the least.
Oh,
Trying
yeah.
to
I have to sometimes, I came from a busy work life. I was a revenue officer for the IRS,
mm, you
field
would
agent.
love
So you said what?
you will love the IRS.
Hey, listen,
They
best
love
job you can
you.
have, best job you can have. I sort of call it my reparations,
Ah,
dealing with some customers, right?
reparations. Okay.
Reparations.
Okay.
But yeah, so I have adapted a healthy lifestyle, and I learned that I wasn't so healthy in the beginning. It was something that I learned to do because food was also introduced to me as a form of love.
Yeah.
We were eating, we were bonding, we were fellowshipping,
Yeah.
and
It's
so
very
I always
cultural.
found enjoyment in that. And so once I started having health issues, and really the doctor was like, "Hey, I don't know what your timeline is, but if you don't get it together, you got one foot and three toes in the grave, right?"
Wow.
And
Yeah.
so I was like, "Okay, I really truly got to get myself together because I wasn't a person who, even being curvy or being a larger woman,
Hmm.
I love myself. I felt good about myself,
Right. Right. Right.
And once I realized that my health was going down, I was like, "Okay,
Right.
how am I gonna change this?" Realized that I didn't have the mindset to do so. My doctor recognized I didn't have the mindset and
Hmm.
that I really had a timeline. There was a life it was a life expectancy and it was going down.
Hmm.
And so I was like, "Okay, what can I do?" So when I was going through my stroke recovery, I got certified as a herbalist. I got certified as a aromatherapist. I got certified as a plant-based dietitian. I'm not vegan or vegetarian, but I was trying to find a way to heal myself
Hmm.
and also learn. And so I started adapting herbs. I do a shot of cayenne, and a little chia seeds, and some olive oil in the morning. Turmeric. I make sure I season my food with a little turmeric for inflammation. Everything has ginger in it. So
Yes.
I'm really, really hyper focused on the things that can heal me. Do I still enjoy myself? Absolutely,
Sure.
but I make sure that I do it in a healthy way
Hmm.
that enhances the quality of my life and it doesn't take me back to where I
Yeah.
was before.
So you kind of develop new habits because taste and food is what you're used to.
Yeah,
It's weird when you because I started eating healthier as well, and for me, I don't really have a taste for things that I would have eaten before. I don't even like it anymore.
yes.
The
It was,
taste
it
buds
was,
change.
it was the taste, the look, the
Yeah.
smell.
Yeah.
You was working with one. You was working with one sense. I was working with like four of them. I want to touch it. I want to eat it. I want to smell it. I want to look at it.
The struggle is real, man. But it's not a struggle because they used to say years ago when I used to play the Weight Watchers game, nothing tastes as good as healthy feels.
Oh yeah,
Ain't nothing tastes that good. And ain't
right.
nothing, it's
That's what I
kind of
said.
like that's my Bronx again. Ain't nothing but a word. you know?
Something like that on a video where I was like, I used to think about how expensive eating healthy was, but then I also thought about how expensive a funeral is too.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I had to choose my expensive.
Yeah, they was working. I've never seen a U-Haul follow a hearse. Yeah, they'll be upset, but they
Right,
ain't
right.
gonna jump in the ground or the furnace. But that's a whole
I
nother
saw an
story.
ice cream truck one time, but never mind. That's the thing.
All right, stop. All right, okay. Now you used to be you were a former track star. See, I did my research.
Yeah.
Knowing the importance, see, I pay attention. Knowing the importance of staying active, right? What does natural movement look like for you now?
It's so here's the thing. I had a stroke
Mhm.
and it incapacitated the left side of my body. So I still have left side weakness. I still have deficits in my knees and things like that.
Mhm.
So it's low impact, but it's movement.
Right.
And whether that is, walking around for 15 minutes, doing some breathing exercises, grounding,
Yoga.
yoga. I just bought me a Pilates reformer.
Cool.
So I've been doing Windsor Pilates. I was doing Windsor Pilates for a long time.
Mhm.
So I just focus on, moving my body,
Yeah. Yeah.
increasing getting my heart pumping, you know, and also taking in healthy information. It's not only about your body, it's your mind. It's your
Yeah.
mind.
Big
It's
time.
making sure that I stimulate my mind in a positive way. You know, that's meditating, that's
Yeah.
prayer, all
Yeah.
those
Yeah, it works. How of the blue zones is like now the blue zones are the five popular ones. There's plenty of blue zones. You can go into, to Caribbean and Africa, you'll see plenty of folks living to be, 95 and, pounding their plant and this, that, and the other. Of the five that we know about, Okinawa and Greece, Sardinia and Japan, which one would you like to go to or been to?
um,
And why? I know I threw a
what's that one guy? Which one they like black folks? Wherever they like black folks, that's what I'm
That's right. That means you have to come to my house.
right.
I'll be the sixth blue zone.
I've
All
always
right.
like I think Japan.
That seems
Japan.
to be an ongoing thing because I spoke to someone earlier. They want to go to Japan. Why Japan?
Oh, I
I
just
know they move slow. They do that
have
Tai
just
Chi
a
and
fascination, just a
yeah,
fascination
it's
with
clean.
Japan and the culture, the food. My oldest daughter, she was always fascinated with Japan, and she would always talk about all these different things, and technology and food and
It's so good.
life expectancy and
Yeah.
everything. The air is cleaner. People were like, when I stepped off the plane, I could just tell that there was a cleansing in my body just through
Right.
the oxygen that is coming from that area. So yeah, it's just all the good things that I heard. No particular reason. I've never been, but uh,
Mhm.
I know there have been a lot of opportunities for me to go. And at first, I was not prepared, but I'm looking forward to being able to visit.
Let me see if I can make that happen because I'm taking unofficial polls, and that's becoming between Sardinia and Okinawa. That's kind of on the top list. Where I'm heading is, bless his soul. I want to be the Anthony Bourdain of the Blue Zones, like do live from certain places and
Oh,
see.
that'll be
Isn't
excellent.
that cool? And and
Yeah.
and wear my dashiki, but that's a whole nother
Oh
story.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Bring. I know that's right. The yeah, you see, I had to have some kind of animal print. Anyway, yeah. So Okinawa appears to be up there on the list now. Blue Zone elders, because a lot of your skits is with your lovely son. Have a strong sense of legacy. What
Mhm.
legacy do you hope to leave through comedy, advocacy, entrepreneurial ventures? Because you're a matriarch in your family.
Yeah, love,
Mhm,
love, laughter, and impact. My success is not predicated on money or any type of, financial stream. It's all on impact. How many people can I impact?
mhm.
I realize if you impact one person, you can impact a million because that person can take that story somewhere, and that other person that they tell that story can take that story somewhere. And so it's all about impact. One of the things about having a stroke and having to face your own mortality is that effect. Like I said earlier, it affects everybody else's you know mental uh, space.
Mhm.
And so I remember one of the things. I remember my son, one day I was sleeping in the bed and I woke up and he was standing over me. And this,
Mhm.
I believe he was like in the ninth grade, eighth or ninth or 10th grade. He was standing over me. And I was like, what are you doing? I was like, what are you doing?
Mhm.
He was like, I was checking to see if you were cold. And I said, oh, I was like, you want to you trying to give me a blanket? And he was like, no, I was checking to see if you were cold.
Wow, that's deep.
And so, and in that moment, I said I was going to change the trajectory of my life,
Yeah.
and I realized that we all have an expiration date, and we don't know when that date is.
Yep.
And so if I can make enough people laugh, if I can bring people to a place of peace in their life, a place of joy, and a place of purpose, then I've done my job. And as long as my children I instill that in my children, and they take that to the world, then that's my legacy.
That's beautiful. It's like I was telling someone at another interview, when people talk about wills, it's not so much what you don't concentrate on what you can give kids that you didn't have, teach them things that you weren't taught.
Right, right.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
because you can always make money if you know how. Right.
I even think about my parents. The reason why I give so much and love so hard is because, for one, my dad was a giver. My dad was a giver. My dad, we lived across the street from a halfway house. And my dad, sometimes we would be in the truck with my dad and he would see somebody coming out the halfway house and see him walking down the street. He asked them if they need a ride. They'd be like, "Oh, I'm trying
Mhm.
to get to the Greyhound station." My dad would
Right.
let them jump on the back of the truck. I'd always see him, giving change to the homeless, somebody
Yeah.
struggling on the road. He was just a natural giver. And I
Yeah.
was like, I want to do that. I want to
Right.
be able to give uh with love and not with the idea that I need something back. You
Now, a
know,
quick question. I asked this at another interview with someone that they were motivated by their grandfather. What A lot of people come from really good families that are giving, but they're not givers.
yeah.
So, what do you think motivates you to be like who you admire versus somebody else who just wouldn't do it? Like, what do you think is the turning point? Because we all know people who have got great parents who the kids is like some of them kids is like, okay, who are they really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think motivates what makes you?
Just seeing it. It was a lived experience for me. It was a
Mhm.
lived experience.
That's who
Like,
you are.
it's just who I am.
Mhm.
It's a lived experience. I always,
Right.
I was in the Girl Scouts, so it was
Yeah.
just the foundation around me was about giving. My mom
Supportive.
was a giver. My mom, they are alive. My parents are alive.
Oh, you're
So
very blessed. That's good.
so they were givers. I always see my mom go above and beyond for people, even her friends. Like, I was talking to somebody yesterday about friendship, and people were just saying how, it's rare to find lifelong friends, people,
Yeah.
without falling out. And I was like, you know what? That's one thing about my mom and my dad. They've had their friends since we were little kids.
Quality.
My mom going back and forth with her friends. I never heard her talk negative about her friends. Two of her close, well, she had was five of them, and two of them are passed away. But when they were going through breast cancer and they died, she'd be like, "Hey, can y'all ride to Denver with me?"
That's
To go
wonderful.
see my friend. So she was always, I never, like I said, she never went through a whole bunch of changes and differences with her friends. So it was always a childhood I had a very modest childhood, and it was always affirmation. It was always what you could do.
That's
Nobody ever told us what we couldn't do. Even when I was running track, my dad was very competitive. So I always went into things, and my dad always say the second place is the first loser, right?
Whoa, that's deep.
Yeah, he used to always say that. He used to always say that. So
I
we were
like that
always in
though.
having this mindset to do the best that we could in everything that we do, you know?
Yeah.
And so it was just it's just all about the foundation. It's all about the foundation. My children are they when I was doing philanthropy and working with Pink Peppermint Project, they
Right.
were always involved.
Well, you've given a lot to me. I can say that, and I was so excited to see you, and I mean,
Yeah.
every day I see one of your videos. How can people get a hold of you? How can they contribute to you? I know the Girl Be Natural, and I know you have the Breast Cancer Foundations. How can people help you?
GoFundMe, y'all. GoFundMe. I'm trying to buy a house here on the beach or on beachside.
Oh Lord, I should have known. You're a comedian to the core.
Straight cash.
Straight cash.
No, but yeah, straight cash. No, so you can reach me on any social media platform at Hey Shanta Q, HeyShantaQ. I have Girl Be Natural. Perimenopause is we talk about women over 40, over 50. It's being talked about. When I started my
Yeah,
company back in 2019, the conversation wasn't being had. We couldn't just openly talk about, I'm musty, I'm dry, I'm angry,
right.
all these different things. And so I have created a company that really is hyper focused on women who cannot have hormone therapy, like myself, who's had a stroke and a heart attack. And so finding natural ways like cohosh and magnesium and
Yes.
and lemon balm, all these different things that help with the or mitigate the symptoms of perimenopause. And so, if you are looking for a natural way to mitigate your symptoms, then Girl Be Natural is the way for you. Pink Peppermint Project is my nonprofit where we provide programs, services, and resources for women of color who have been affected with metastatic breast cancer, as well as their caregivers. Our biggest program is called the Mint with Love uh, program where we actually send out care packages to women who have been either recently diagnosed or living with a breast cancer diagnosis,
Yeah.
and to make sure that they feel beautiful and they feel loved at all times, and to know that someone is thinking about them. The mint means motivate, inspire, nurture, and transform. So anytime you want to donate, or if you can't donate financially, you can always, if you're here locally in Texas, Dallas, Texas, you can donate your time. We're always looking for people to help us pack our packages up. We have a really great partnership with Thrive Cosmetics, who helps us bag and box up those packages. And if you have products, anything that's healthy, if you're a healthy, natural, clean brand, then you can donate your products to us, and we would really appreciate that. Thank you.
I got to get my Dallas dental colleagues involved because
Yeah,
there's xerostomach side effects, dry mouth side effects of chemotherapy with breast cancer and stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I've got some people in Dallas. I'm going to make sure they get a hold of you to help with those care packages. You have any
Thank you.
questions for me?
I just listen.
Who the hell is this woman? No, okay, let me stop. Okay.
No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's not about who you are. Someone. We're all someone in this
Yes,
world.
I appreciate that.
We are all someone. God has created this path that only we can thrive in. Nobody else can live in your purpose but you. And so thank you for reaching out.
Oh,
I
thank you.
appreciate it. A lot of people will say that, like, I didn't think you were gonna reach back out. I didn't think, why not? Why not?
Yeah, you did. A lot of
You know?
people don't. Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you for seeing me and seeing what I do. And thank you for just being a
Oh,
gift on this planet and allowing God to use you in such a way that's transformational for everybody who touches your anointing.
oh, I appreciate you.
It's amazing,
You're good people. Right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Likewise,
The
likewise.
sense of community is real. And
Yes.
there's positivity about the social media is bringing people far away next door.
Yeah, because it can be so messy. Social media can be very, very messy, very, very ugly. But if you use it for for what it's for, you can find great benefit and learn that you can change the lives of so many people. So thank you.
I appreciate you, and this is not going to be the last time we're in contact, right?
Yes.
So,
And my grandma say, Lord say the same.